afternoon. Welcome to Join News today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kukumlemne. We are on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. Join News is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, NPP General Secretary demands the resignation of non-performing appointees, indicating the time is now for President Akufo-Addo to reshuffle his government.
We are MMDC.
If you are a CEO, deputy, MMC, and you believe you can no longer work for government, resign and let others do the work if you are not included in the reshuffle.
We'll take you live to the NPP headquarters for updates of its Thanksgiving service today. Also, Multimedia's very own Erastus Asaredonko receives 50,000 Ghana cedis as cash prize for winning the Ghana Journalists Association PAV and Star Journalist of the Year.
The work that Erastus has done on illegal mining and showing evidence of the challenges and sometimes the failures of the efforts that we are trying to roll out took a lot of resilience and diligence.
Details as the Information Minister Kojo Ponkoma charges journalists to give voice to the call for better conditions of service. Plus this afternoon on Saturday on Joy Prime Explore on our sister station Joy Prime at 6:30 p.m. Maxwell Agbagba will take you to Jirapa in the Upper West region for the ultimate safari experience at the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel. There you will see lions, zebras, ostriches and more. We'll bring you assets of that episode. We have business, showbiz, world news, and also sports coming up this afternoon. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces via Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. I'm taking you straight to the NPP headquarters where there's currently a Thanksgiving ceremony and it's being addressed by Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Verses 16 to 18 enjoins us to, and I quote, rejoice, always pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. For this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Unquote. As a nation and the world over, the challenges for the year have been many, yet we have persevered. For that, we must give thanks to God. As we are already aware, the post-COVID-19 era remains a difficult era in the history of the world, and many countries across the globe are still recovering from the economic and social shocks the pandemic created. Ghana has been no exception. As a party in power, at such a difficult period in our global history, we can only thank God Almighty for how far He has brought us. We've had to work extra hard to lessen the burdens that crossed into 2023 with us. We started the year with an inflation rate of 53.6% in January. As we speak, the rate for November is 26.4%. A significant drop. And when you look at inflation, it has come down. But what is even more remarkable is that prices of items that we normally buy, cement prices are falling, fuel prices are falling, cooking oil prices are falling, iron rod prices are falling, rice prices are falling, maize prices are falling. And this is telling us that something is happening, because normally we see increases, but we are seeing declines in price. And we are hopeful, inshallah, that next year, by this time, we will be celebrating and talking about a further reduction in inflation. What we have also seen is that since February, remember, this is when the gold for oil policy came in. Since February, and thanks to the monetary policy of the Bank of Ghana and the fiscal policy of the Ministry of Finance, anchored on the gold for oil policy as well. Thanks to our policies, we have seen the exchange rate between February and November depreciate by less than 5%. That is very remarkable. And this has anchored the stability that we are seeing. And we expect this to continue by the grace of God. So, my brothers and sisters, the progress we have made in managing inflation in the past 12 months is an indication of the good work that we have done in rolling up our sleeves to get to work. After turning the corner, we are set to move with full speed towards greater recovery in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, for us as a party, this year has been an eventful one, marked by several successful steps towards the coming year. We rolled out a highly successful process to elect a new leader and presidential candidate of our great party. I had the fortunate privilege and honor of emerging as your chosen leader and candidate for the 2024 election. For that, I am most grateful. Building on this, we elected parliamentary candidates for our orphan constituencies a few weeks ago. And God willing, in January, we will complete the process by electing candidates for the constituencies with sitting members of parliament. You have my firm assurances that we will entrench the free, fair, and transparent process that we have observed so far. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I also want to thank the National Council, National Executive Committee, the Council of Elders, Regional Executive Committees, Constituency Executive Committees, Polling Station Executives, Electoral Area Coordinators, all party members, and the general public. The successes that we have achieved so far have been results of teamwork, hard work, and unity. These are values we must continue to build on. Indeed, it is only in unity of purpose that we can achieve our goal of winning the general elections next year. I am confident that with hard work, unity, and full commitment, it will be possible to break the 8 and to continue to solve the problems we face as a nation.
You heard that Dr. Mamadou Bawumia is the flag bearer of the NPP for the 2024 elections. Let's get to Parliament because the Finance Ministry's budget has been approved by Parliament. The statement was approved amidst drama in Parliament about which side had the loudest vote during the voice vote. Earlier, it was obvious after a voice vote that the majority side had lost, with the NDC colleagues outnumbering them in the chamber. But instead of declaring that the motion had been lost, Second Deputy Speaker Andrea Mwakwesiama suspended the House for an hour. More on that shortly. First, listen to the minority leader explain his side's opposition to the estimates for the Finance Ministry, citing the Ministry and GRA's revenue assurance deal with SML, which he announced his side will be bringing a motion to the House to investigate.
Speaker, in spite of all what the country is going through, I was amazed to hear from an investigative journalist that during the time that the country was going through a major financial crisis, the same Ministry of Finance had the audacity to sign a contract in US dollars worth $10 billion, $100 billion a year for 5 years. So, Speaker, we are coming with a motion before you. This matter must be investigated by this House. Mr. Speaker, we need to pay attention. What is happening at the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, is a serious matter. The company called SML, that has made the headlines in our country, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that since the year 2018, this company supposedly, according to the investigative journalist, is receiving 24 million every month for no work done. So, Speaker, we will investigate that. We will investigate that. This budget, in excess of over $1 billion Ghana cedis for Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, to perform their functions. Mr. Speaker, we should be aware that this ministry, under its current leadership, needs to be asked to do what is right. Mr. Speaker, a lot is wrong at that ministry. A lot is wrong. And we will come frontally on the issues of the SML contract, will come frontally on the issues of the e-levy contract, and will ask them, Mr. Speaker, in the coming days to account to the people of Ghana how they took taxpayers' money, 24 million every single month since 2018 for no work done. 24 million Ghana cedis since 2018 every month for no work done. And the reasons why they had the audacity in the middle of crisis to award a contract to SML for an amount worth 100 billion Ghana, $100 million US dollars every month for the performance of a function that everyone knows that is a doubt.
Upon resumption, there were very few NDC MPs back in the chamber, resulting in a loss of the voice vote put by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin himself. As the year gets to a close, we put a spotlight on the performance of the 8th Parliament. I've been joined by Executive Director of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman. I'm grateful for your time, sir. First, your assessment of this meeting as far as the performance of the 8th Parliament is concerned.
Very much, Aisha. If we look at the performance of the 8th Parliament during this meeting that is just coming to an end, I would like to look at it from maybe 4 different angles. And then I would also like to look at it from areas where I believe, in my little knowledge of the workings of Parliament, areas where I believe they have done well, areas where I believe there are challenges, and areas where the kind of verdict is mixed. So if you allow me, maybe let me start with, first of all, with lawmaking, which is topical right now. We have seen, on the one hand, a rise in private members' bills, occasioned by the efforts made in the 7th Parliament, led by the Right Honourable Michael Quay. However, what we are witnessing now, I think, is some kind of rollback in terms of that power that we thought now Parliament has been able to wrestle, rather than just being just a body that is sitting there waiting for the executive to bring bills, and it just simply does approve those bills. We're hoping that, you know, the new powers occasioned by the private members' bills, I mean, we're putting Parliament, I think, on a trajectory where it is really exercising its oversight, I mean, its lawmaking powers. But we are back to the old days where there is a turf war between the executive and the legislature. And I was quite worried when I noticed that Parliament was not speaking from one voice. Perhaps maybe there could have been some conversations even before some of these bills, I mean, were laid before Parliament. But here we are, even hearing the leader of the House siding with some of the arguments from the presidency. And I think we want to see more of maybe Parliament speaking from one voice. So on the issue of lawmaking, I think honestly I'm quite disappointed with the developments that are coming out of Parliament, particularly during this 8th meeting. I mean, this meeting that is about to end. On the issue of oversight, yes.
When this Parliament was being inaugurated, actually we're all optimistic that they will be objective this time round because it's a nearly hung Parliament. I mean, what do you think? Are you satisfied with the minority, especially in holding government accountable?
Yes, in fact, that's what I was coming to in terms of the oversight functions. So we have to be, yes, we're all excited, but I think that excitement should have been measured by the fact that, you know, the minority alone cannot do it. And we're hoping that at least oversight and holding the government to account would be the responsibility of the entire Parliament. But here we are, as soon as matters come up in terms of holding the government to account, we begin to see the party lines being drawn. You hear pronouncements from those who belong to the NPP quite different from pronouncements from those who belong to the NDC. And I think that that is quite worrying. And perhaps maybe that's why our country is where it is now in terms of the challenges that we face economically. Rising debt, allegations of corruption, even though not yet proven. I think we know from just basic culture that there is no smoke without fire. So these are quite disturbing, particularly at a time when our country is going through perhaps maybe East-West crisis. But let me say, as I am on this, Aisha, that at least the minority has done what it has to do. Most recently, I think we're all watching what happened with, the LI that was laid before Parliament. Thanks to, the very loud voice of the minority, including civil society kind of voices and so on. I think we've seen the government take back that LI and so on. And there are many other examples that can be cited. But overall, I think oversight has been the weakest link. And it's just mainly because both sides of the House are not speaking from the same voice. In terms of representation, that is where I think maybe this, this current meeting has done quite creditably. We saw most recently the inauguration of the Citizens Bureau by the Right Honorable Speaker. And this is supposed to give us, ordinary citizens of this country, a voice in terms of the workings of Parliament. And I think we've also seen the laying, most recently, of the Affirmative Action Bill, which is supposed to at least correct some of the gender imbalances that we have in terms of decision-making and powers and participation in the political process. I think all these are maybe positives and some progress that we have to underscore. And then also when you come to the institution itself, I think overall we've seen some progress. The standing orders, the new standing orders, even though I have been disappointed that up until now, those standing orders have not been approved, but there are a lot of progressive elements in the new standing orders. So hopefully when we get to the last session of this Parliament, we are hoping that the standing orders will be approved. And then secondly, Aisha,
hopefully, I mean, there's a lot more that we'll be expecting from Parliament because they have just 1 year to exit and make way for the 9th Parliament. It is something we'll be looking out for as the House rises today. I'm grateful for your time, Dr. Rashid Rahman. He's Executive Director of Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs. Let's get on to other stories because flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, has expressed worry about government's inability to operationalize the Commander Sugar Factory. The factory built in the central region aimed at producing sugar to reduce import of the commodity. Speaking at the Emintimaze Palace in the central region, John Mahama says the NDC will ensure the blueprint for the operationalization of the factory is followed. Nanaya Ojima, who is on the Building Ghana tour with him, joins us live with more. Nanaya Ojima, describe to us the reception so far. I think we lost Nanaya Ojima there, but he's been following the former president, who is also flag bearer for the Building Ghana tour of the NDC. When we get him, he'll be bringing us more from there. But the flag bearer of the NDC has been expressing worry that there hasn't been operationalization of the Commander Sugar Factory. He says that he will ensure there's a blueprint for the operationalization of the factory. Nanaya Ojima is back now. Right, I'm told he's not on. We'll try and get him in our subsequent bulletins to tell us more. The manager of environment and sustainability at the Asanko Gold Mine in the Ashanti region has bewailed the activities of the illegal miners on the company's mining concession. And as Dako says, the company's Tonto Chrome concession has over the years been invaded by Galamsey operatives, harming the mine's sustenance. He has appealed for government support to eradicate illegal miners from the company's concession.
The illegal invasion of mining concessions by illegal miners continue to hinder the activities of Asanko Gold Mine. Over the years, Galamseyers at Manso and its environs have faced off the mining company over their concession. The manager of Environment and Sustainability at Asanko Gold Mine, Ernest Dako, bemoaned the continuous battle with illegal miners. He was speaking at an event to hand over 3 projects under the Asanko Social Responsibility Fund.
Problem facing Asanko now is illegal mining. They've taken over our concession and we don't want to engage in a battle with them. So we are using a negotiable approach to negotiate with them or engage them to just leave the site for us to work, because we contribute a lot to the district. Both Amansia West and Amansia South. So once we get access to these areas to work, the entire district and the country will benefit. So that's our only challenge, illegal mining. They've taken over all our concessions and we don't have the resources or the logistics to evict them.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, the Asanko Gold Mine, through its SRF, commissioned 3 projects including the Kwabenaso School Block, Kumpeseke VIP, and the Swadey Teachers Quarters. General Manager of Asanko Gold Ghana Limited, Ahmed Muhadini, highlighted the need for the CSR initiative.
We at Asanko have always endorsed the proposition that the business sector can make a significant positive impact on society through corporate social responsibility. On this occasion, I would like to pay special tribute to the SRF board, who have been very instrumental seeing to the fruition of these SRF projects.
Multimedia's very own Erastus Asari Donko has been awarded a 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize for winning the 2022 PAV Answer Journalist of the Year. The prize was handed to him last night at the 2nd Annual Ghana Journalists Association annual dinner last night, extolling the works of Erastus. Minister for Information Kojo Oponkroma bemoans the poor working conditions of journalists as he urged practitioners to call for more. James Aveji has more.
And the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining.
The 2023 Ghana Journalists Association Annual Dinner is a night set aside in the GJ's calendar to reflect over the year under review and forecast for the next year. The event was celebrated in pomp and pageantry with a lot to eat, drink, and a live band music to dance to till your feet hurt.
So many highlights. So move on, shake the body, shake the body.
Executives of the GJ in the middle of the celebration presented a 50,000 cedis check to the 2022 PAV Answer Journalist of the Year Erastus Asaridonko as cash prize for his award 2 months ago.
Asaridonko will be receiving a dummy check. Hands together for him one more time. Of course, this cannot be commensurate to the kind of sacrifice that he has done.
This Saturday on Joy Prime, explore on our sister station Joy Prime at 6:30 p.m. Maxwell Agbagba will take you to Jirapa in the Upper West region for the ultimate safari experience at the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel. There you will see lions, zebras, ostriches, and more.
Welcome to the heart of the Upper West region, where the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel stands as a beacon, attracting people from diverse backgrounds and corners of the world. What truly captivates visitors is the unparalleled safari experience. At the Safari Ranch, behind the electrified fence lies the hippo's pond. 2 hippos gracefully step out to feed. Despite being herbivores, they are considered the largest killer of humans among large African animals. With safety as a top priority, the authorities have implemented stringent measures to ensure a secure environment.
Welcome to Joy Prime Explore, and we are here at the Safari Ranch of the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, and we are here to explore the Safari Ranch. You hear that sound already from our hippos, and soon we get to meet them. But I have with me here the tour operations manager here at this Popo. He's going to tell us more about this Safari Ranch and why you don't have to travel outside Ghana to see hippos, to see African lions, to see zebras, to see impalas, to see all the beautiful species that we travel outside Ghana just to see. Aziz.
Yes, bro.
Thanks so much.
Nice to have you.
Glad to meet you.
Yes, we are grateful.
Great. So tell us what we're doing here today.
All right, so right there is our hippo's pond.
Okay.
Yes, as you know, the hippo is the 3rd largest mammal on land after the elephant and the white rhino.
Okay.
An adult hippos weighs between 1,300 to 1,800 kilograms.
1,300
to 1,800 kilograms, as you can see them. And they are
I weigh a little above 100 kilograms.
You see?
And they weigh what?
1,300 to 1,800 kilograms.
Wow.
And they also feed about 40 kilograms of food on daily basis. And they are herbivorous. So they depend on leaves, grasses, shrubs, fruits, and grains to survive.
Wow.
And these are semi-aquatic mammals with a lifespan of 40 to 50 years.
You said 40 kilograms of food every day?
Yes, every day. And it's herbivorous.
You know what?
So imagine how much leaves, grasses they consume on daily basis.
But I'm actually thinking about that in the quantity of balls of banku. You know, he said 40. Banku is my favorite food. So he said 40 kilograms. I'm thinking, so how many balls of banku will be that? So let's go and see the African lions and all the other animals here.
It is time to encounter the king of the jungle, the lion. Tour manager Aziz.
It airs on Joy Prime at 6:30 on Saturday. Now, Joy News' impact makers, our DL&Y Topoku, has embarked on a sensitization campaign among junior high school pupils ahead of Christmas festivities to educate them on sexual and gender-based violence and the associated dangers. The move, according to Ellen, who doubles as its Techiman Municipal Girl Child Coordinator is to help reduce teenage pregnancies across the municipality. Anna Sabet has more.
School-related gender-based violence has adverse psychological, economical and health consequences that often prevents children from learning and thriving. Whilst boys are more likely to be absent from school as a result of bullying, girls, on the other hand, are more likely to be absent from school as a result of sexual violence. The situation usually worsens during holidays as issues of sexual and gender-based violence increase within this period. To help educate these children to be safe during the Christmas festivities, the Techiman Municipal Girl Child Coordinator, who emerged as a Joy News Impact Makers awardee, Ellen White Opoku, is today holding a sensitization seminar for school children across her catchment area.
Our children are breaking for holidays next week, and I feel that because of the festive season, it will be appropriate for them to know more about sexual and gender-based violence, since anytime they go on break, a lot of people take advantage of them. Some of our girls come complaining of being abused by men. A lot of them come complaining of defilement here and there. And so I feel that this is the right time for us to reach out to them so that they come back to school strong and healthy. So it's a way of protecting our children whilst they are on break.
She appealed to parents to minimize the use of children in harmful trades to avoid exposing them to risks within their communities.
I feel that if our children are on break and they'll have to do something to support their parents, I wish that would be done under the supervision of their parents so that at least you have a sound mind wherever you are. You know.
This is where we take a break. We'll be bringing you business shortly.
Hello, welcome. Let's do some business with me, Emma Davis. World Bank Country Director Pierre Laporte has challenged claims of not doing enough to prevent Ghana from getting into debt distress. The country's development partners like the World Bank and IMF have come under serious criticism of failing to stop governments from overborrowing, which has pushed the country into its current economic crisis. But speaking on PM Express Business Edition that happened last night, Mr. Laporte insists that they advise government accordingly.
There, from
the bank spoke out. The bank challenged.
I am
Ghana.
not a country director who goes out in cocktails and criticize government, or who goes out on the media and criticize government. What I have to say, I tell with the minister in the boardrooms with my staff or privately. Yes, you are right. We were there all the time pushing for things to happen earlier. They did not. So it's not that the World Bank wasn't there. And again, the World Bank doesn't decide for a country. We can come and tell you.
Advise you, moral
we can advise you, we can encourage you, we can push you, but at the end of the day, it's a government's decision, not the World Bank. You know, like I say, we continue to give project funding because these are directly from us to the accounts that we control, pays the contractor. This is fine. But budget support, that's why we had the instrument. We had it on the table. Come, we will do a budget support for you, but you have to raise revenues, you have to look at certain other things, you have to do reforms in the energy sector, because over $1 billion every year is going to the energy sector. You have to improve collection. Now these things are okay, we've agreed. But the World Bank cannot take blame if governments don't do things.
Could we have used project support and budget support as an instrument to check government to ensure that they quickly come on track? Couldn't we have done that?
We did that. We had the money always on the table. You cannot bring projects to do budget support. Projects is for projects, and we don't stop. We only stop projects when government doesn't pay us INRs. But budget support, yes, we used it. We talked to the Minister of Finance many times about the budget support.
Ghanaian media personality and CEO of EIB Network, Nathan Kwabna Anoche Edisi, better known as Bulare, is set to empower 25 Ghanaian entrepreneurs under the age of 30 through his entrepreneurship with Bulare initiative. Speaking at the official launch of the program, Bolare indicated that the initiative will support beneficiaries with funding. There's more in this report.
Entrepreneurship with Bolare is an initiative that forms part of Bolare's 25 years in media anniversary, which is under the theme Impact at 25. The initiative, which is in partnership with the European Union, is a comprehensive startup support program that aims to nurture and elevate young entrepreneurs who are passionate about building impactful businesses but lack crucial resources and guidance.
25 budding entrepreneurs under 30 years, you will be resourced, you will be mentored, and clearly you are getting some capital incentives as well. This initiative, in partnership with the European Union, is designed to provide aspiring entrepreneurs with the necessary resources, guidance, and support, and to turn ideas to successful ventures.
Ambassador of the European Union, Rashad Razali, who serves as the grand mentor of the program, emphasized that the Union decided to partner the initiative as it aligns with their mission to promote job creation.
One of the key priorities of the European in Ghana is to create room for job creation and to support entrepreneurship. And the moment I've been asked to join in this initiative, which is the Bolare Entrepreneurship Initiative, to support 25 Ghanaian entrepreneurs, I did not hesitate 1 second, because I felt this was a good platform to create space for giving mentorship, advisors, and accompany and support 25 talented Ghanaians to move forward. Some of them will and want to open their businesses, some of their projects, so I think it's the best way to support them.
That'll be all for business. My name is Emma Davis. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good afternoon.
Welcome back to Joy News. Today, to the rest of our stories, the National House of Chiefs has added to calls recommending the total abolition of policies that grant permission for mining in the country's forest reserves. According to the House, although regulatory policies were instituted to rake in more resources and economic benefits for the country, the governing bodies have failed to implement the policies judiciously, calling for a change in the regulatory regime. President of the House, Ojiaho JB II, prevailed on the government for the inclusion on the governing body. Emmanuel Bright Kweko has more.
In 2022, the government passed the legislative instrument and environmental protection regulation on mining in forest reserves. Since the passage of the law, the country has seen many mining leases granted in forest reserves, while an increasing number of applications for the lease are under consideration. The government came under heavy criticism after a mining company, High Street Ghana Limited, applied for a mining lease to mine in the Kakum National Park. At its last general meeting for the year, the National House of Chiefs recommended the termination of policies on mining in forest reserves. The House says the regulatory bodies responsible for ensuring sanity have failed in their mandates. Ojiaho JB II is the president of the National House of Chiefs.
The policy on mining in forest reserves was well intended, but the results so far show that beneficiaries of the policy have not been sincere enough. Those issued with certain licenses are undertaking active mining. Government and its related agencies like the Forestry Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency, cannot implement the policy in a manner to achieve its intended purpose. We as chiefs and as custodians of the land should recommend a total abolition of the policy. Indeed, Nananum are calling on the regulatory regime to involve Nananum.
Despite efforts to halt across the country's lands and water bodies, the illegal activity continues to adversely impact the environment. cautioning against the repercussions of illegal mining, the group is suggesting collaborations with the government to fight the menace.
Nananom, there is enough evidence to suggest that government's approach in dealing with galamsey without the active participation of traditional authorities will not succeed. In fact, if government does not involve Nananom, this fight will not succeed. Government should collaborate with the traditional authorities and draw up a detailed plan and provide adequate resources to halt galamsey and the menace associated with it.
Meanwhile, Minister responsible for chieftaincy and religious affairs, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, is urging the traditional rulers to collaborate with relevant stakeholders, including the Lands Commission, to protect customary land rights. This, according to him, would end persistent land disputes in the country.
As custodians of the land, I would like to urge Nananom to reconsider availing their respective councils for the customary land secretariat management system that was espoused under the land administration project implemented by the government several years ago. This proposal is part of the government's effort to address the challenges of land governance in Ghana. So this appeal is to encourage you to use your influence and authority to prevent and resolve land disputes, as well as to promote peace and development in your various communities.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Well, news, and that's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Marketplace is up next with Daryl Kwao. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.